I sold the Lexus! Hola! I'm Mike, the backyard mechanic, and that's the Lexus. Or that was the Lexus. I got rid of it. But before I tell the story, I'm back! After a leave of absence from Jibber Jabber Tube, I bought a 3-car garage, and a house, and a studio. Well, it's an office with a camera. The act of buying a house and moving and unpacking is intensive enough, but I've also had to do a lot of modifications to the house to meet my needs. I currently have to park the Mustang outside. This is unacceptable. Look how dirty it is. The garage is currently being used for storage, which is also unacceptable. There's stuffed animals in here. Stuffed animals should not be in a man's garage. We don't have basements in Texas, so storage space is a premium. I built some shelves in the attic, but that's just a drop in the bucket for what's needed. I'll be flooring the entire space over the garage, which, according to my calculations, should then be enough space to fit all of our crap. You know the expression, 10 pounds of crap in a 5-pound bag? Well, 600 square feet of crap. Yeah. But before putting down the flooring, I'll be adding insulation. This is the first step toward a climate-controlled garage. I also have plans to build a 10x10 shed. I can't be keeping the lawnmower in the garage fighting for space with the Mustang. The garage is only 600 square feet and the Mustang needs room to breathe. All of these projects are in progress and will be upcoming content, interspersed with car-specific content like this one. The Lexus has been a pain in my ass assessment of the reliability of that car. I've listed all the things that have gone wrong with it in my video on used cars not to buy. That list has gotten longer since showing it. But most annoyingly, on a Friday, just 5 days before moving into the new house, the Lexus started overheating on Little Miss Content Maker. After letting it idle for 10 minutes, the temperature went down and she managed to get it home. This made it pretty obvious the problem was the thermostat. I didn't have time to work on it, so I called my regular mechanic, but they were busy and couldn't get to it for a few days. I figured that a thermostat is a simple job for anyone, so I called a shop I used to go to, Driver's Eggs, and they could get to it right away. So, lifesaver! I dropped off the car. I got a call a few hours later with a quote for $2,400. Yes, the thermostat was bad, but also the water pump and the radiator were seeping. You can see here from the pics they sent me, definitely $2,400 worth of damage there. I told them that $2,400 was just too much money and asked if they could replace the thermostat to get it back on the road. Oh no, we couldn't do that. Modern cooling systems are sealed and pressurized. Pressurized coolant has a higher boiling point, so it operates at a better efficiency. I didn't care about peak efficiency. I needed that car back on the road ASAP, but they flat out refused to do any work for less than $2,400. I picked up the car and took it home. I ordered a new thermostat from Amazon for $29, which arrived the next morning. A thermostat replacement on the Lexus is not an easy job, because no job on the Lexus is an easy job. But I managed to get it done in about 2 hours, got my daughter her car back, and I got back to pack for the move. And saved $2,371. So, Lexus crisis averted. We moved into our new 3-car garage and got most of everything unpacked. I was having a leisurely night zooming with some friends when I got a call from Little Miss Content Maker. She never calls to tell me she loves me. The Lexus is overheating again. I had her check the overflow reservoir and it had coolant. We waited 10 minutes to see if it was a thermostat issue, but no dice. So we had it towed home. Meanwhile, I lost it. I'd had it with this damn Lexus. When it was towed home, I just started keying the paint. But it didn't do anything because, well, it was a fob. I told Miss Backyard Mechanic that I was buying a different car and dumping the Lexus. She agreed, saying it's been nothing but trouble. While still on Zoom with my friends, I jumped on Facebook Marketplace. I wanted a car right away, which is not an ideal position to put myself in. I had a $6,000 budget. There were no good deals on Hondas or Toyotas, so I checked the Mazda 3s. There was exactly one Mazda 3 in my range. It had 143,000 miles on it, but it was a 2016. And it had a backup camera, which is pretty much mandatory option for all of my vehicles. It had a good price because of hail damage. Do I care that a car for my daughter has hail damage? Not a bit. Super bonus, this car was only 9 miles away. The seller met me the next afternoon. I test drove it and went over the car with a fine-tooth comb. There were 4 major things wrong with the car. The windshield was badly cracked, the back tires were bald, there was no spare tire and no spare key. He was asking $6,100 and I offered $5,500, which I thought was fair. I actually started at $5,000 to try and loosen him up. But this guy was a super tough negotiator. I had to walk away just to get him to budge off of his number. We ended up agreeing on $5,800. Neither of us were happy. I thought it was $300 too much and he thought it was $300 too little. The next day I went to the Denton County Tax Assessor's office to transfer the title and get plates. After an hour and a half wait, the lady at the window told me the seller signed the wrong line. Just draw arrows and initial it, right? Nope. This is Texas. I had to bring a large form entitled "No Intent to Commit Fraud" and have the seller sign it. If I couldn't contact the seller, I would then have to apply for a bonded title. A bonded title establishes ownership of a vehicle when the original title or other ownership documents are unavailable. But the title was available. This could cost hundreds of dollars. Texas. The good news is the seller agreed to meet me. We arranged to meet at a restaurant on a Sunday morning. That morning I got a text from him that he was there. I showed up at the restaurant and he wasn't there. I texted asking where he was. He said, "Here." After a few runarounds like that, he called me and said, "I'm in the parking lot." I said, "I am too." He said, "I'm parked under the tree." I said, "There are 50 trees in the parking lot." Anyway, he signed the paperwork, and after another 2-hour wait at the tax office, I was able to get a proper title. The following week, I got new tires and had the windshield replaced. I found a spare tire on Facebook Marketplace for $30. So, the Lexus. Turns out it was just low on coolant, but the real problem was it was not drawing from the reservoir for some reason. The hose was either blocked or had an air leak or something. I did not investigate. But I did fill it up with coolant, tested it thoroughly that it was no longer overheating, and put it up for sale. I did some research. A 2007 Lexus IS250 with 200,000 miles is worth about $5,000. This one has multiple dents and a shredded interior. The TPMS light is on. So I priced it with a sell right now price of $3,000. I got a message within 10 minutes asking if I would take $1,000. I hate people. Don't you just want to slap the entire internet? Little Miss Content Maker said her friend needed a car and would buy it. I knocked another $500 off the price because it was an easy sale. I told him absolutely everything that was wrong with it and we made the deal. I made it very clear I was washing my hands of the car. I was not available to fix it nor even offer advice. That car is dead to me. Sure enough, 3 weeks later, my daughter texted and asked what it meant when the VSC light comes on. The variable stability control light comes on when there is a problem in the system. The light indicates that the VSC is shut down. Since the system doesn't want to do something to make you unsafe, it turns off all the safety features. Ugh. I hate that I know that. I hate that I still remember that. I don't want to keep knowing this. How is this Lexus still haunting me? Good thing I'm not superstitious. I know it sounds like I sold it cheap. I had already gotten an insurance check for $1,300 for the first of Miss Content Maker's accidents, and there's still a claim pending for a second. Well, I hope you enjoyed story time, especially one with a happy ending. The happiest of endings. If you're wondering how I could afford the $5,800 for the Mazda 3, well, it's the Halloween season, so I made money by letting people tour the Lexus. I had to make them sign a waiver, mainly because the tour concludes with a look at all the repair bills. The Lexus was like a giant biomechatronic mosquito with its proboscis jammed into the back of my neck, sucking the life force and motivation from my spirit. But otherwise it was a good car. Oh, don't forget to like this video. Or dislike it, that's fine. I'll just find a random Lexus on the road and throw myself under it. And I'll have Velcro on my back so that it latches onto me and drags me down the road until I'm a bloody mess. Death by Lexus, a fanciful dessert coming to a used car lot by you. Oh, I have a fan online. Hey, fan. Did you like the video?
You're back. You mean you were gone?
Thanks, fan. It's good to be back. I'll be posting videos on a regular basis again, but in the meantime, watch this video on what cars not to buy. The Lexus is one of them. Ah! Oh my God, I thought the Lexus was behind me.
Did you think something was going to happen? What did you think was going to happen?